We're the loneliest generation in history and we're doing it to ourselves. You're swiping through hundreds of faces, you've got more options than any generation before you. You can connect with anyone, anywhere, at any time. And yet, you're alone. Not just single, alone. You've got 47 unfinished conversations in your DMs, 3 people on rotation who you're talking to but not dating, 5 situationships that went nowhere, and a phone full of people you've never actually met. This isn't dating, this is a simulation of dating, and we're all pretending that it's normal. Let me tell you why we're failing at the most natural thing humans have done for thousands of years, and what we need to do differently if we actually want real connection instead of just more content. Your grandparents met in their hometown. Their dating pool was maybe 50 people. They picked someone, committed, and figured it out. You've got millions of options. Literally. You can swipe through thousands of people in an hour, and that sounds like freedom, right? Wrong. Because when you have infinite options, you treat people like they're disposable. Someone's not perfect, we swipe away. They said something slightly off, we ghost them. They're not giving you butterflies 24/7, on to the next. And you're not looking for a person, you're looking for a product. And you keep shopping because you've convinced yourself that the perfect match is just one more swipe away. But here's the truth. The perfect person doesn't exist, and even if they did, you wouldn't recognize them. Because you're not evaluating people based on compatibility. You're evaluating them based on entertainment value. Does this person give me dopamine? Do they text back fast enough? Do they make me feel like I'm winning? Are they hot enough to screenshot and show my friends? That's not dating. And the problem with treating people like products is that you become a product too. You're constantly curating, performing, optimizing yourself for maximum swipe appeal. You're not being yourself, you're being your highlight reel, your best angles, your wittiest captions, your most strategic texting timing. And even when someone swipes right, you're exhausted, because maintaining that performance is unsustainable. So the relationship dies before it even starts. Let's talk about this modern invention, the talking stage. You're not dating, you're not exclusive, you're not just friends. You're in this ambitious gray zone where you're doing relationship things without the relationship label. And it can last for months or maybe even years. You're texting every day, maybe you're hooking up, maybe you've met each other's friends, but you're not actually together because labels are too serious and we're just seeing where it goes. And like the translation of that is that one or both of you is keeping your options open and you're not committed to each other. You're relationship adjacent and you're getting all the emotional benefits of having someone and being in a relationship while still keeping your options opened. And that's the worst of both worlds. You're invested enough to be hurt, but not committed enough to build anything real. And the wildest part of all that is that we've normalized this. We act like this is just how dating works now, like it's evolved or progressive or whatever. But it's not evolution, it's avoidance. We're so terrified of vulnerability, so scared of rejection, so addicted to keeping our options open that we've created this halfway commitment that protects no one and satisfies no one. You can't build a real connection when one foot is always out the door, when you're always hedging your bets, when you're always wondering if you're settling. The talking stage isn't a stage, it's a stall tactic, and it's keeping you stuck. And having situationships is something that Gen Z is normalized. We have normalized it so much, and they're so crushing. You act like a couple, you talk like a couple, you even feel like a couple, but you're not a couple because one person won't commit, and when somebody asks you what you are, you just don't know. So you're stuck in this loop where you keep hoping they'll choose you, keep proving yourself, keep being patient, keep understanding, and they keep taking everything you give while giving you nothing real in return. No labels, no clarity, no future, just this vague, let's see what happens energy that keeps you hooked while they keep their options open. And here's what kills me. We blame ourselves. Maybe if I'm cooler, more chill, less needy, they want me for real. No, they won't, because the problem isn't you, is that they don't want a relationship. They want the benefits of a relationship without the commitment, and you're giving it to them. You're auditioning for a role that's not even open, and every day you stay is another day you're not available for someone who would actually choose you without hesitation. Situationships work for one person, the person who's avoiding commitment. For everyone else, it's just a prolonged rejection dressed up as potential. We've replaced conversations with texting, and it's ruining everything. You meet someone, you vibe, you exchange numbers, and then you text for weeks, for months, building these entire relationships in your head based on messages. You know their texting personality, their emoji usage, their memes, what they use, but you don't actually know them. Because texting is performance, it's edited, it's curated, it's them at their best, most clever, most strategic. And you fall for it. You catch feelings for a version of someone that might not even be real. Because texting chemistry and real life chemistry are not the same thing. Then you finally meet up and it's awkward. Because you built up this persona in your head that doesn't match the actual human sitting across from you. Or worse, you never meet up. You just keep texting indefinitely until one of you gets bored or meets someone else or just goes because there's no actual investment. Texting should be logistical, setting up dates, making plans, not replacing actual human interaction. But we hide behind screens because it's safer. You can craft the perfect response, you can avoid vulnerability, you can be whoever you want to be, and in the process you never actually connect. And Gen Z is terrified of real effort. That's the most uncomfortable truth I had to realize too, because we want the relationship just to happen naturally, like effortlessly, like it does in the movies, you know. You want to match with someone, meet them, have instant chemistry, fall in love without even trying, and live happily ever after. But that's not how relationships work. They require effort, intentionality, discomfort, even risk. You have to actually go on dates, not just hang out. Dates, where you make plans, show up, and invest time in getting to know someone. You have to have awkward conversations about what you want, what you're looking for, where this is going. You have to be vulnerable, show the parts of yourself that aren't curated. Risk being rejected for who you actually are, not just your profile. And Gen Z doesn't want to do any of that, because effort looks desperate, vulnerability looks weak, and rejection feels like that. So we stay surface level, keep it casual, pretend we don't care, and wonder why nothing ever goes anywhere. You can't build depth without diving deep, and you can't dive deep without risk. Every relationship is now a performance for an audience. You're not just dating someone, you're creating a relationship aesthetic for Instagram and TikTok. You're creating content, you're proving to everyone that you're winning at love. The soft launch, the hard launch, the couple photos, the stories, the captions. And if it's not Instagram official, does it even count? You're more concerned with how your relationship looks than how it feels. More worried about the narrative you're selling than the reality you're living. And when things get hard, which they will, you can't just walk through it privately because everyone's watching. Everyone has opinions, everyone's in your business. Your relationship becomes this public entity that you have to maintain, not for you, but for them. And the pressure kills everything real. Because real relationships are messy, they're unglamorous, they have hard days and boring moments and times when you're not cute together. But you can't post that, so you pretend it doesn't exist. And the gap between the public performance and private reality keeps growing until something breaks. We've rebranded commitment as a red flag. Someone wants to define the relationship, they're moving too fast. Someone wants exclusivity, they're clingy. Someone asks about the future, they're too serious. We've convinced ourselves that staying unattached is freedom, that commitment is a trap, that labels are restrictive. But that's not freedom, that's fear. Real freedom is choosing someone and building something with them. Freedom is vulnerability. Freedom is deciding that this person is worth the risk. What we're doing isn't freedom. It's avoidance dressed up in progressive language. We keep our options open not because we're independent, but because we're terrified. Terrified of choosing wrong. Terrified of missing out. Terrified of being hurt. So we stay in this perpetual state of almost relationships, almost commitment, almost love. And we end up with nothing real. If you actually want a relationship, not just the performance of one, not just the situationship version, here's what it takes. You have to be intentional. Stop saying you're just seeing what happens. That's code for I'm not actually trying. If you like someone, pursue them. Make actual plans. Not we should hang out sometime. Actual dates with actual times. Show up consistently, not just when it's convenient. So be intentional. Be vulnerable with them. You have to risk being seen, the real you, not the curated version. That means having conversations about what you want, what scares you, what you're actually feeling. It means admitting you like someone before you know if they like you back. It means risking rejection. Because you can't build real connection while you're wearing a mask. Be patient. Real relationships take time. You can't swipe your way to deep connection. You have to sit through the awkward getting to know you phase. The uncertain early days, the moments where you're not sure if this is going anywhere. Stop expecting instant chemistry. Sometimes the best relationships start slow and build. Commit to one person. You can't build something real while you're keeping your options open. At some point you have to choose this person, this relationship, even though it's scary, even though there might be someone better out there. Because there will always be someone else, there will always be more options. But that comes from choosing someone and going deep, not from staying shallow with everyone. Get off your phone. Stop building relationships through screens. Stop letting texting replace actual interaction. Call them, see them in person, have real conversations. Build memories in real life, not just in your camera roll. Your relationship isn't content. It's not a story for your followers. It's private. It's a real thing between two people. And treat it like that. Here's what no one wants to hear. Gen Z isn't bad at dating because the apps are bad or because the culture is toxic. We're bad at dating because we're avoiding the fundamental requirements of human connection, risk, vulnerability, effort, commitment. We want all the benefits of a relationship without any of the discomfort. We want connection without vulnerability, intimacy without risk, love without possibility of loss. And that's not how it works. You can't have real without risk. You can't have depth without discomfort. You can't have love without the possibility of heartbreak. These things are features, not bugs. If you're tired of the shallow surface level going nowhere relationships, here's what changes. Stop treating people like options. Delete the apps for a while, focus on one person at a time. Give relationships extra room to develop. Have the uncomfortable conversations early. What are you looking for? What do you want? Where is this going? Stop avoiding clarity because it feels awkward. Be willing to look desperate. Effort isn't desperation, it's interest. And if someone thinks you're too much for showing genuine interest, they're not for you anyway. Choose commitment over comfort. Staying unattached feels safe, but it keeps you stuck. At some point you have to leap. Build offline, meet in person, have real dates, create actual experiences together. Stop trying to build a relationship through a screen. Accept that it might not work out, and do it anyway. Because the alternative is staying safe and alone forever. You can keep doing what you're doing, you keep swiping, keep talking to multiple people, keep staying surface level, keep avoiding commitment, and you'll keep getting what you're getting, situationships, ghosting, loneliness disguised as options. Or you can try something radical, actually date, take risks, be vulnerable, make effort, choose someone and build something real. It won't be perfect, it won't look like the movies, it might not even work out, but at least it'll be real. And real, even when it's messy, is better than this polished performance of connection that leaves everyone feeling empty. Gen Z has the tools to connect with anyone, we just forgot how to actually do it. So maybe it's time to remember. Put down the phone, show up in person, take the risk, have the conversation, make the commitment. Stop performing relationships and start building them. Because the loneliness generation doesn't have to stay lonely. We just have to be willing to do the uncomfortable work of actually connecting.